Almost forgot that I have to take off the Iridium Go antenna and also my SSB split LED antenna before we take off the mast. So that's going to happen now. I have a very plain way to attach the Iridium Go antenna to the backstay. Just some hose and hose clamp. It's been there now for about 5 years, works excellent. A split LED antenna is very easy to install and take off. It just might be an option if you don't want to make an isolated backstay. Oh, the antenna is off, just lying here along the boat, and it just takes a few minutes to attach it again on the backstay, and then secure it with a few cable ties. Last thing remaining now is the bimini top for the solar panel. So that's the final thing before we can head off for taking off the mast. Need to take off my cockpit lighting that I regulate from here. So here is on off. It's super strong, doesn't see that on the daylight time, where I can have either a blue or a red one. That's for nighttime or so. I've got some question how the bimini is attached, and they have this fastening here on the threads, and then it's going on top of the listen boom, and then it has taken a NOAA connection here and then an aluminium bar here to keep this, because it's with the solar panel on, it's becoming quite heavy, and otherwise it pulls this towards the mast. And as the bimini is very high, I need to reduce the height of the main sheet, so I just took a low friction ring here. Some people say they don't like low friction ring. This one has been here since 2016, so been working pretty well even in rough weather. First time in many years we have Kerpa without the bimini. More or less ready. Now the rigging people's coming here and clear everything to step off the mast. Now it's a little bit exciting. The team has arrived, so I'll see what they're doing. It's a lot of activity on board. It's 4 people working. Now they're taking off this stainless steel stuff for the ballooner poles. Taking photos so they know how to connect things again. So today they only make sure that the turnbuckles are turning easily and take off most of the things. So tomorrow they will lift off the mast. So I hope they will done it today, but they will do it tomorrow morning. So now the chaps leave and we're going to be back tomorrow. See you, bye bye. Nice to be at anchor again. It's a very warm day. And tomorrow is Midsummer, the Swedish most important, what do you call it? Bank holiday, whatever you call it, celebration. So we need to go and buy some stuff for tomorrow's feast. It's probably only Kerstin and me, so it will not be any extravagant stuff, but at least see if we can get some strawberry, make a strawberry cake. And then we of course have herring and salmon, and we skipped the schnapps, but some good beers we will have. Now on our way to finally take off the mast, we hope. Safely moored at the dock for the crane and the boys coming to help us with the mast, but there is no one here. It's 10:15 now and they should be here at 10. I don't like that. I think one should respect time limits. Now they are attaching the lifting strap to the missile mast just below the radar. Yeah. Now they are losing all the struts and stays, and shouldn't take long before they step off the missile mast. I can't say that they use a very heavy crane. It looks very thin, the beam they are lifting with, but I hope they know what they're doing. The last lower struts, then it's only hanging in the lifting crane strap. So now she's lifting. Oh, there she's up. Up she goes. Looks pretty straightforward. We've done it many times at home with our smaller mast, and it's only the wife and myself doing it. And we did it on a 36 footers and a 38 footer actually we had, and that was hard work for the two of us, but it worked. You can see the crane is bending a bit, but maybe that's sort of part of the flex will give it some. This is the rubber pad it's standing on. It doesn't look to be anything wrong with that one. Hope they not lose it anyhow. As one says, probably polyurethane. That would have had guessed from the beginning anyhow. Now it's the main mast. That's a little bit more tricky, I assume, with two furling units and the foils, but I soon have done this a couple of times before, so I'm not too worried. Climbing up the mast. Now I understand how they do. They just tie it around there, and then they have us stop it with something in a rope going down to the base of the mast, from preventing it slipping. That's smart. Now the man in the mast coming down. Now the backstay is up. You can see the sagging in the forestays. And off she go. I couldn't be with the original lifting because I had to assist them, keeping the inner forestay from bending. But now we're still a boat without a mast. Now it's 12:10 and the mast is off and we can go for Christmas. No, Christmas, Midsummer. Ah, Swedish Midsummer with knäckebröd cheese, salmon and herring, and of course a beer. Have you opened your beer, darling?
No, not yet.
So,
So now it's open.
cheers!
Skål.
Skål! Ah,
So good.
yeah. It's been a little bit nerve-wracking day to take off the masts, particularly on a midsummer, which is sort of the most important weekends for Swedish people. Now I got my first beer. And some shadow also. It's very warm today, darling. Very warm. And it's a little bit crowded on anchorage. We maybe put our anchors a bit too close to this boat, but there are many boats and there was tide and very little wind, so it's very difficult to know where actually the boats are. Look at this, they are pointing in totally different directions if you look. The main mast foot, try to clean it up as much as possible. There's a lot of aluminium oxides. I'm not 100% sure how to get rid of it, but we will try a few methods. First thing is to vacuum up all the loose debris so it's not getting spread all over the boat. And the next is just some blunt tool here with a piece of wood there. You can actually get a lot of this white stuff to get off. And now I'm trying with some lightly abrasive polish called Autosol. It's a Swedish brand, but I think there is quite common with different kinds of rubbing. But this is quite mild. Both use a rag and a toothbrush. I don't know if it do that much good, but something it will do. I don't know how well one has to need to do this, but we'll see how it will look in the end. Been soaking up paper towels here with acetic acid or vinegar to see if it have any effect if it stays there for a while. We'll see. This is as good as I managed to get it without putting in too much effort into it. I think this is more than good enough. This is how the mizzen mast looks like. Looks like even more sort of this aluminium oxide there. We don't do it better than this. This is good enough, we hope. Taking off the rust, corrosion marks on all the chain plates. How is it going, Kerstin? Does it work well? No fun work?
No. Especially when it's like this.
Rocky.
Rocky, very rocky, and all the small boats coming into the shore.
That's tedious work.